Um, okay, awesome. So I know last week we kind of went over a lot, but I told Carly this morning, I was like, I feel like we need to talk more on interjections because I feel like when you're new and even now sometimes like sometimes people will say things and it's kind of like, oh geez, like what do I say to that? Or do I give them some time? Do I reach back out? Like you're kind of just left like up in the air, not knowing what to do. So we kind of wanted to help with that, like uncertainty. Damn, I can't talk today. Really knowing like how to respond and stuff like that. So I think Carly wanted to ask, like, what are some things that you guys hear often that you guys kind of don't know what to respond to? Because for me, it was always like oh, I'm going to look into it. So I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to look into it. I'll let them do their own thing. But now it's more about trying to figure out, okay, well, are they really going to look into it? Are they just saying that because they don't want to say no? Can I help them find, whatever it is that they want to look into? Things like that. So Carly, what was some like things that you heard that you didn't really know how to respond to?
Well, first I want to say like all of you, I want you to like drop in the chat or unmute yourself and say something that's like an objection that you hear from a customer. Somebody message you and ask you about Thrive and they give you an excuse, like just something that you're like, you feel stuck at, or you feel like the conversation has ended. They've given you an excuse. You don't know what to say. Like there's that. You just, okay, I'm going to RCM them next week and hopefully build a connection. So obviously these Zooms are to minimize the amount of follow-ups that you have to do to close the sale. So if we know what kind of like objections you guys are running into from your audience, then we can help you on how to respond to that with everything that you have learned from the Zoom so far. Okay, so let's see the chat. Okay, there's a good bit. Josh, you wanna answer some of them? And
I'll go. Yeah, we can. So I'll just take the first one. So let's see. Hold up in the chat again. So Abigail said, I'm going to look into it. I just paid bills. I want to finish until I stop. I want to wait till I finish breastfeeding. So the look into it, always, I will just straight up ask like, okay, what are you going to look into? And then they're kind of like a deer in headlights, like if they're not really wanting to look into it. But you'll get it out of them. Oh, I want to find the price, or, oh, I want to see what all comes in a package. And of course, that's all stuff that you guys can answer. So really just getting out of your own head when asking these questions. I know that they're super uncomfortable and they seem very like bam, but I'm telling you, it's going to save you so much time. It's going to save them so much time. About the, let me see, what was the other one under it? That I just paid bills. Always ask if they have a budget. I know that seems kind of personal, but again, that's going to help you work with them, help you figure out if you can offer, credits or a buy step 1 and 2. I'll give you step 3 free. Really don't be afraid to ask questions like that. Again, I know it's uncomfortable to ask someone what their budget is, but if they're really serious about wanting to try it, then they'll share that with you. About the breastfeeding. So whenever I get somebody that's talking about breastfeeding, is it safe? Can I, whatever. I always let them know that we've had so many people who have used Thrive while pregnant and who have continued on after, even while breastfeeding. I literally always think about Carly because in Jamaica, she was producing so much milk. So when people are like, oh, is it gonna, no, you are gonna be a milk making machine, let me tell you. And you can even offer to put them in a 3-way chat with someone who has like had that experience. That way they feel a little bit better. But of course, I always tell them too, if you want to check with your doctor, but we've had women that have been cleared. So that's kind of how I go about that. Carly, did you want to take?
Yeah, and I do have like a few things to say about that. So when someone tells me they're gonna look into it, so y'all know I only use voice messages. So I send a voice message and I'm like, okay, girl. I'm like, if you plan on going to Google, you're probably gonna find a whole lot of mixed reviews and you're not really gonna find anything that's like personal experience. And for me, I like hearing personal experiences. So I'll say something like, what are you looking into? Because I can probably answer any questions that you have. And I also reassure them and tell them I've been doing this a really long time. So I've pretty much seen every case scenario that could happen with the good, bad, great, ugly, whatever. I've seen it all. So I can answer any questions that they have. So that's what I try to do, is reassure them that like I'm the Thrive plug, and come to me, not Google. Okay. And I just pay bills, like Jocelyn said, like ask a budget. I always relate Girl, I completely understand. I know I'm trying to budget money too right now. So if you let me know like about how much you're gonna spend, I can promise you that I can work out a deal for you. Even if it's not right at this moment, I can let you know when another one's gonna come or something like that. Breastfeeding, I always try to relate to them because I know that it's scary, like whatever you put in your body you have to worry about when you're breastfeeding. So I try to relate to them. Like, I understand it's scary. You can talk to your child's pediatrician, talk to their doctor, whatever, and also assure them that anything that you put in your body, you have to pay attention to how your baby reacts to it. So like anything, like if you eat ketchup and then your baby's stomach hurts, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't eat tomato sauce or whatever. So it's the same thing. You should see how your baby reacts to it. I have to check with my husband. Okay, y'all, this is probably my biggest objection that I get like all of the time. And I it depends on my personal comfort level with them, but everyone knows I'm a single mom and like I just don't like answering them in. And so I will literally make a joke. I'm like, girl, you better go get that card right now. You do not have to ask nobody. And I'll say something like, does your husband want to see you get up and make his lunch at 4 a.m. before he goes to work? I think so. I think you should just surprise him with the best you possible. It's just something like that. Like, I usually use humor about it, and I'll be like, girl, I wouldn't ask if I was you. I would just do it. And, sometimes they're like, well, I have to be respectful, and they don't get my humor. That happens sometimes. But that's usually how I respond. And sometimes it works. And I'll be like, let me talk to your husband. Put him in three-way chat with me. I do that too. Let's see. It costs too much. I can't afford that. Oh, wait. I just got off track. I skipped down. Okay. It's too much money a month. Okay. I love this one. I will literally argue till I'm blue in the face about the price because it is not expensive. Now, if they don't drink coffee or energy drinks, that's where you're going to kind of run into justifying the price with them. And that's where you're going to go a different route. But if they drink coffee and energy drinks, I'm like, please go to your bank statements and add that up because that's what I had to do to justify it for myself. And always use feel, felt, found. You're going to relate that it's scary. 150 is a scary price. Committing to it every month is scary. Auto ship is scary. Like, it's all scary. It's new things. We're promising you a whole new you. And you're like, whoa, 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 calm down. I don't want to spend that much money. So relate to them, but also tell them like, girl, I don't know how you feel, but like I literally looked at my bank statements and I found out that I was spending way more money making my daily gas station trips and my Starbucks trips than I would be now. And then bring up Thriving for free. And you can reassure them, you don't have to sell this. You can literally just refer people to me and I'll do all of the work. And sometimes it's still not going to work. Now, let's say they say, oh, why don't drink coffee or energy drinks? So that's where I start with you deserve more. That's where I start with as mamas, we think we don't deserve to, like, we think when we're the most tired, that's when we're the best moms. Like, I am so worn out that I've done absolutely, like, I'm literally so drained. I can't even think straight by the end of the night. Oh, I just killed it as a mom today. Like, that's like the mindset of moms these days is like, more tired you are, like, you're just doing the dang thing. And it's like important to remind people that you don't have to be tired as a mom. Like, I mean, obviously mentally we handle a lot, but I use that. I'm usually talking to moms, by the way. If you're not talking to a mom, you probably have to use a different route, but I'll tell them you deserve the best to feel the best. Your babies deserve for you to feel the best. Your husband deserves for you to feel the best. And so you're worth $5 a day. And it sounds aggressive, and it is. It's aggressive. It's assertive. You're confident. And that's kind of how you have to be sometimes, because if you think back to where we all started, we all needed a little push to start too. Let's see. So that covers all of the price ones. And if Jocelyn, if you have something to add to that.
I think for the price, I always, again, I'm always trying to bring like that emotion out of them, especially when they're saying, oh, I'm looking for more energy. I always ask, okay, what are you doing now for the energy? Like, how are you getting through your day? Because that's going to get them to open up and let you know, okay, I'm having a drink, 2 cups of coffee. Oh, I go to Starbucks. I have a freaking gold card, whatever. Like, they're going to let you know. That way, when the time comes to talk about price, you already know what they're doing. You kind of already have an idea of how much they're spending. And a lot of times they'll open up and they'll tell you, like, I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of not fitting in my jeans. Like, they're going to let you know. So again, you can push that on them, kind of like Carly did. Oh, you're worth $5 a day. Oh, your husband's gonna love to see you up at 4 a.m. Kind of paint that picture and let them know, like, it's literally $5 a day. You're probably already spending that, not more. I was felt found. And I was gonna add something else. Dang, I just completely had a brain fart. I always kind of let them know, like Carly did, go in and look at your statements. How much are you spending on K cups? How much are you spending when you go to Starbucks? All that stuff. Dang, I had a really good point right now. Carly, let me give it back to you. It'll come back to me.
Okay, I'll just go to the next one. I don't have time to make my profile, so I offer to make it for them. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for the record of saying, if they like legit, literally won't even send you their email, I would probably, I would check back in again and be like, hey girl, I know you're busy and you're not thriving, so like I get it. You probably don't feel like responding, but I'll do all the work for you. Just send me your email. And I usually send a voice message. Also, guys, voice messages, they are less likely to ignore you because they want to hear what you said. They can't do a little swipey thing or a little thing where you hold it down and then they don't see that you read it. Yeah. So voice messages help with that too. But if they won't do that very simple request, I would probably not message again after that. I would just RCM and do more follow-ups, and I would remind them, like, girl, why didn't we ever make your account the other day? Like, if y'all have a really good conversation, go and just randomly bring it up. Like, hey, I think you forgot to send me your email, but I'm on my computer right now. If you want me to do it for you right now, I know you're busy. So make it about them. Like, I want to take this off your hands so you don't have to do it. Did you remember what you were going to say, Joss?
Yeah, I wrote it down. Literally, it's right here and I didn't even see it. So I like that you brought up, like, when you talk about the referrals, one thing that I always do, especially if they're like, oh, I can't afford it, I really shouldn't be spending this money, I will make it a point to try to offer them something, whether it's like a free plus line, credits, free shipping, whatever. And I let them know, just like Carly did, like, I'm going to work with you to get you on this for free. I know that you're going to love it. I know that you said that this is something that you can't put into your budget every month, but let's work really hard to do this. And again, that's all literally just having them share their experience, posting a selfie with a patch, tagging me, things like that. And then I then offer that customer like some type of incentive, like free shipping, and stuff like that. That's what I wanted to add. And just like you said too, I will literally always ask to, like, I guess depending on whether or not they're comfortable with me going in and doing it, but I'll always make accounts for people. I'll let them know what their password, username is, all that stuff. And then when it gets to the point where they're ready to order, but again, they don't have time, I'll literally tell them, hey, if you're comfortable giving me your card info, like, I'll do it for you. Don't be afraid to ask questions like that as far as like going in and helping them.
Okay, so I can't go without my coffee. So I might be a weirdo, but I actually love getting objections like this where I can relate to it because it really excites me, because I'm like, I remember where I started and I'm like, I can't believe I used to think like that too. So like I get excited. So I would send a voice message back like, girl, let me tell you, I used to feel the same way. Like I literally used to drink like a pot of coffee a day. I swear to God, I made 2 Starbucks trips a day because I worked in the mall. Like, and I just tell them that, and I'm like, I promise you, like, you're not gonna miss it. You're going to wake up and crave your Thrive Shake. Like, you're going to want it. And then I'll say something along the lines of like, we'll go back and forth the conversation. I'll tell them how I'll make a decaf cup of coffee and I don't even finish it, or something like that. How I don't even think to stop at Starbucks. And when I do, I want something refreshing, like a tea or something, or just something like a smoothie rather than a coffee. And I also tell them just like the benefits of like fueling your body with vitamins versus coffee in the morning, and tell them that they're just in a habit. And so if you start asking them questions too, you'll get them to admit that their coffee really just doesn't work. Like it doesn't wake them up. It's just a habit. And I'll ask them that straight up. Does your coffee wake you up in the morning? And they're like, honestly, no, it's just a habit. And I'm like, right, it's just a habit. So we can try a new habit. Like we can form new habits. Like just try it. And I also tell them about how they can make their lifestyle mix taste like an iced coffee. And I told them that I'm like, I'll do my vanilla almond milk with my sugar-free vanilla coffee creamer and some ice. And I'll tell them how sprinkle a little cafe in there. It tastes just like an iced coffee. And I'm excited to tell them about this. And so they can hear that in my voice. And if you can relate to being an avid coffee drinker, then you just use that and you ask them questions. And I love just getting people to admit the obvious so I don't have to say it. Their coffee doesn't work. It's just a habit. They just like the taste. And they'll end up admitting that if you just keep asking questions.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same as you. I will tell them like, oh, I used to feel the same way, but then I tried Thrive and the energy level is complete night and day. You know, coffee, yeah, it's good for like the first hour, you're on that coffee high and then bam, you crash. Whereas when you're using Thrive, there's literally no crash. There's not a crap ton of sugar in it. You're not going to gain weight. Like I always let them know that, and that's kind of going to make them feel better. And one thing that I started doing, so before I used to tell people, okay, don't drink your coffee, just use your Thrive. And that would, now I'm kind of like, okay, you know what? Have a cup of coffee, but you might find that you're not going to need it. And like the first week, you're like, I'm not even wanting my coffee anymore. Like it's insane. So always tell them like, yeah, you know, if you feel like you need to have a cup, whatever, have it. But you're going to find that you're literally not even going to depend on that anymore. What was the other question? Let's see. Was there any other ones? Can't sell. Let me see. Lisa, can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Like, are you having like trouble reaching out to people about it, or is she still on?
Okay, so since she's not answering, I want to say another one that I was going to type out, but it seemed like so much to type. So whenever I'm talking with someone and they're about to order and I tell them, hey, you know, just so you know, whenever you turn on your auto ship, you're also going to get 20% off whenever you're on auto ship. And then whenever they go and order and I see that they didn't order on auto ship, I'm like, hey, you know, I noticed you didn't order on auto ship. And they're like, oh, I forgot, even though I just told them. So like, how can I get it to stick for them? Because I literally still haven't even Thrive for free.
There's like no option of no auto ship. Like I don't give it. I don't say there is. I just literally am like walking. I send them the screen recording and I'm like, look, you're going to go ahead and click the up arrow on the auto ship program. It should say 1 and 1 on both sides. You will see 2 totals in your cart. One is today's total. One is your auto ship total. Your auto ship total is going to be cheaper because it does not show you the taxes. I explain it all. And I tell them, look, you can delete it when you're done ordering, or you can pause it if that makes you more comfortable, but really you should just leave it on. And I explained to them that I don't ever want any of my customers to have a surprise auto ship. I will reach out to you a few days before and make sure you want to keep it. I will be keeping in contact with you all months and asking you about your auto ship. So at any point in time, you can say, hey girl, I want to go pause it. Hey girl, I want to go edit my DFTs. And I say this all like in a 1-minute clip. So like I kind of sum it up, but I don't really make it an option. And if I'm doing credits or a deal, I don't give it. If they don't do auto ship, I literally tell them, in order to receive my 25 in credits, make sure that you have that 1 in the auto ship program, 1 in today's order. Also get them to send me a screenshot of their cart before they order, and I'll tell them, show me the 2 totals.
Yeah, I always ask for a screenshot at the end, and that screenshot's going to tell you, because if it's not 150, 164, 190, you know that it's not on auto ship. And usually when you tell them, hey, send me a screenshot so I can double check that everything looks good, they'll do it for you. So that'll help.
So for the I can't sell, I'm assuming that she means like someone's talking about promoting, like you maybe brought it up to a customer or something.
Yeah, that's what they tell me, is that they can't sell, or that they don't know if they like how to like promote it.
So when someone tells me I can't sell, I'm like, great, me neither. I'm like, I'm not a salesman. I don't know. Maybe I could sell a car right now, but like, no, me neither. You know, we're not like manipulating you into making a sale like car salesman. We're not like using these tactics where we have to get you to buy something and then it's not actually, like, I'm not a salesperson. And so I tell them that and I laugh. I'm like, great, awesome, not needed for this. I'm like, we just tell stories. We tell our own story. We tell our own experience. And so I'll ask them, Sorry, y'all. I just got a call from my son's school. Now my heart's racing. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna finish what I'm saying. I don't remember what I was saying. What was I saying?
That
we're
you
not-
salesman
Yeah.
that you can sell a car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I don't remember where I was going with that, but I'll say something like, I'll ask them if they're already a customer. I'll say, tell me how Thrive makes you feel. And they'll tell me, and I'm like, boom, right there. That's how you sell the product. So that's about it.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing. I always tell them, like, you don't need to come in with this knowledge of, you know, how to sell, have any type of like retail. Like, literally, it's just you sharing why you love the product every single day. Simple as that. What it's done for you and sharing that out loud, because there's so many other people out there that are watching that also need what Thrive has to offer. So you basically just have to tell them, you know, don't overthink it. Literally, I'm sure a lot of you guys, when you guys started, you guys, or even like before starting, you guys probably had no clue that you would end up in something like this. So just like reassure them, let them know that you were kind of on the same boat when you joined. It looks like Carly's leaving us. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything? Any other interjections that you guys get a lot? I know those are typically like the number one that I'm going to look into it. It's too much. Literally the husband one, I had to make a freaking meme about that. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. What is it? If your man tells you you can't thrive, you have to let that mango. It's like a mango. No? Okay, never mind. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end it then. You guys have a beautiful Friday. Thank you guys for hopping on. And we'll see you guys next Friday.